Welcome back to my channel. So listen, you guys, I feel a little bit cheated out of the story with Gypsy Rose announcing her pregnancy because I follow Gypsy Rose's Lifetime reality show called Life After Lockup every single week here on my channel. We are discussing it. We are recapping it. I am all about that Gypsy Rose news. Okay. So tell me why yesterday I was minding my own business. I had just arrived back in Canada from France, and I just had the whole day at the airport to wait for my train to connect me from Montreal to Ottawa when the news suddenly breaks that Gypsy Rose is pregnant. Oh my God. I was shook, you guys, because the rumor mill had been claiming that Gypsy and Ken appear to already kind of like be tense or almost on the outs with one another. So I thought that if a Gypsy Rose and Ken announcement were to come out, it was going to be an announcement claiming that they had broken up already and that, like, maybe she was going to try to get back together with her estranged husband, Ryan. Ryan is obsessed with Gypsy. He is a day one Gypsy Rose stan, okay? So, like, I feel like he definitely would have taken her back if she were to break up with Ken and try to get back together with him. So when I saw the news come through that Gypsy had actually announced a pregnancy, mind blown. So let's get into Ryan, how he found out about Gypsy Rose's pregnancy. Shout out to In Touch Weekly for the story. Sources close to the magazine are saying that Ryan found out about the pregnancy before the rest of us. And I do think that it was very nice of Gypsy to give him a heads up before she posted her YouTube video announcing the news, which we will be watching together because I still have not seen the YouTube video itself. I only saw a clip that Gypsy posted on Instagram. So I wanted to watch the full thing with you guys. So he knew about it. And he didn't take it well because, of course, Ryan, given that like he really, truly, truly, truly loves the hell out of this woman, he thought that they were going to be able to reconcile. He thought that this Ken thing was just a phase, just to test the waters, to see what it would have been like, and that she would be right on back home. This man, from what I saw, like he was on TikTok running polls, like who's hotter, me or Ken? Like he is like 50 shades of crazy, this man, right? He's like, listen, I just got my goatee. Like, don't lie, I'm hotter than Ken type of stuff. Like I saw those videos, like, all right. So anyway, like he was devastated. He's gutted. And like, in the most recent episode, last week's episode of the Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup reality show, we talked about the way that like she was worried that she was pregnant. Like she's not on contraception. Ryan is not like, a pull-out king by any means. He's just leaving it in there, shooting up that club and everything like that. So he seemed excited at the thought of her being pregnant. Her sister drove her to the pharmacy to get that Plan B pill, and Ryan was pissed the F off because he was about to knock her up, trap her with a baby so that she wouldn't get together with Ken, right? But unfortunately, that plan fell apart. Ken knocked her up, and now here she is on YouTube making an announcement about the fact that she is pregnant. Gypsy Rose, girl, you move quick. This is Sonic the Hedgehog level fast. Like it's just so much going on since this woman left jail. Like she really should have just relaxed a little bit before, getting married, separating, and then get together with this Ken guy. As I'm talking, I have this like taste for Bits and Bites. Those like snacks that come with the pretzels and like the little Cheerios and stuff. I want to go get that. I'm so excited to eat Canadian snacks again, y'all. You don't even understand. Let's get into it.
Hi, everybody. So rumors have been flying around for quite some time now.
I gotta say, she looks really pretty here. I don't know what she's done to like her eyes, but they look like big. Like, she's usually known for having rather small eyes, but here they look like very big and like, happy and pretty, and I like the shade of blonde on her too.
And I'm happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant. Ken and I are expecting our very first child come January of.
So she's announced a little bit early. Typically people wait 12 weeks, but listen, 11 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever. Go ahead, girl. Let them know.
2025. We're both very excited. This was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected, but we're both very excited to take on this new journey of parenthood. I have already experienced the symptoms.
Listen, girl, you planned this, okay? Your sister is a nurse. She educated you on the show about where babies come from. the need for contraception, the need for birth control, all sorts of things. So you having that kind of like knowledge at home from your sister and everything like that, she taught you about Plan B, everything. You can't sit up here and claim that this was an accident. Like, you planned it, Ken planned it, you both planned it. Let's keep it real here. Let's keep it a buck.
When I first learned that I was pregnant, the first thing that I noticed was the cravings. So I craved orange juice. Orange juice was not something that like I craved on a daily basis before.
We know all you do is drink energy drinks. You're just throwing them back every couple of hours.
So when I started craving orange juice, I'm like, okay, well, guess I just want orange juice. I didn't think anything of it. And so
you do your thing and you do it well. Now it's time to do it bigger.
That was one thing. And then like the next thing that I noticed was like the hunger, like an insatiable hunger to just eat everything. So I really went on a binge and just started eating everything. And then, of course, I missed my period and I didn't think anything of it because I had seen my OBGYN and I had tested my fertility. And she's like, we're probably gonna have to put you on fertility meds or at least something to make you ovulate because you're not ovulating on a regular. So I'm like, okay. So I had that appointment was like a month out. And so when I missed my period, I thought I was just having issues with ovulation. And it wasn't until I had texted with Ken and he's like, have you taken a pregnancy test? And I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm pregnant. I don't think it's that. And then I had taken a test and it turned out positive. And so everything just made sense. But my pregnancy journey so far. So I have experienced crazy mood swings. Like, poor Ken. If he breathes wrong, I am just like, pregnancy is not easy with the mood swings. And he's been very gracious about it. He's been very forgiving about it, but good Lord. We were driving in the car the other day and this is before I got my hair done. So I did still have brown hair at this time.
Speaking of hair dye and stuff, I do also ask, I do also have to mention, and by the way, I don't think I don't watch the full thing. I thought she was just going to talk about I don't really care about your symptoms, this, that, and the other. But speaking of hair dye, whatever, the nose job. Gypsy Rose just got a nose job like a couple of months ago, and typically it takes a nose job like a year to fully see final results. It can even go to 2 years in specific cases if you've got very thick skin. So what is the timeline between the nose job and the pregnancy? So let me see this. I'm going to go on the internet. When did Gypsy Rose get a nose job? Like, was she already pregnant when she got this nose job? Because I feel like this nose job is like still a rather recent thing. So she had her nose job on April 5th. Okay, so what are we? July 10th. We made this announcement on the 9th of July. So guess what your girl is about to do? She's about to pull out her calendar. So voila, I've got my calendar here. Let me put this back up so I can see So April 5th was a Friday this year, right? So April 5th to 12th, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 12 weeks. Wow. 13 weeks. So she is 11 weeks pregnant and her nose job is 13 and a half weeks old, which means that she got knocked up right after getting her damn nose job. This girl is not smart. And I'm saying this as a fellow nose job girly. Like, you have to give your nose time to heal. So at a time where your nose, I didn't have broken bones. They use piezo laser, right? But I think American doctors still hammer the nose like the olden times. So they break your nose bones. They set it all back together. Your tissue is all super inflated, everything. And so your nose needs time to reattach back to the bone and the skin. So it's still out here and it's going here. And so instead of giving it the time that it needs, what do? You go get pregnant. So it's just here trying to shrink back to the bone. And before it could even do that, you're already here making it grow with pregnancy. Wow, girl, you're going to need a revision, I think. because your nose is not going to be able to properly heal. Why would you go and do this immediately? It's like the BBL girlies. Like the amount of girlies who go get a BBL, then they get knocked up before even a year post-op, and you're like, really? Like you just wanted to burn water, like drown water or something? Like, what are you thinking? Oh my God. Like I knew she was less than smart, but this is like insane to me. Wow. Anyway, I wonder how this is going to play out on her show. I really do think that her Lifetime show is going to get a second season because it's juicy. There's so much going on in her life. She's like, you know, still such a phenom on social media. So people really are talking about her. I don't see any reason for her to not get a second season, so that now, you know, with the kid and everything and the new man, we can like follow that part of her journey. So listen, like I said earlier, I do watch Gypsy Rose's show every week, and I recap it every week here on my channel. If you too would like to watch it, I do have an affiliate link in the description box of this video so that you can watch it using Philo for free for a week. There's just so much to talk about here, you guys. I really, really am shook, stunned. I am like, wow, girl, you're married to a man, pregnant by another man. You just got a nose job. You got pregnant immediately after your nose job. How does this work in the state of Louisiana? So guess what I'm going to do? Does the new guy even live in, does Ken even live in Louisiana? I thought this was a long distance relationship. So like, how's like co-parenting going to work? So while I wait for you to let me know in the comment section how that co-parenting situation is going to work, I have another co-parenting question, which is what happens, right? What happens if you are married to someone? What happens if you are married to one man in Louisiana, but pregnant by another? Question mark. Let's see what ChatGPT is about to tell me about what Gypsy Rose is about to face. Okay, so here we go. Okay, hang on. Let me share my screen. Voila. I'm going to pull up my screen share because there's so much to cover here. Stop the screen. Let's get to the next screen because the next screen is where we're going to get all of the tea, the good, juicy gossip and information we want about how this sort of trifling situation happens. Like the way that Ryan is so obsessed with Gypsy, don't be surprised if he refuses to sign these papers so that the child can still be born while he's still married to Gypsy. He's gonna like try to be recognized as a father. Like, even if it's not my biological child, I love you, Gypsy. I want to be with you, Gypsy. I want to raise this child with you, Gypsy. You know, my God, girl, you really got yourself into a pickle. Let's see what they say. In Louisiana, if you're married to one man but pregnant by another, several legal and personal issues might arise. Number one, there's some key points to consider. Number one, presumption of paternity. Okay, so under Louisiana law, the husband is presumed to be the father of any child born during the marriage or within 300 days of the marriage's termination. Boom, girl, Gypsy, this baby is legally Ryan's. Challenging paternity. If the husband is not the biological father, either party, the husband, wife, or biological father, can challenge paternity. This typically involves legal proceedings, money, and paternity testing, DNA test. I do believe that Ken would be willing to do the DNA test, provided that he and Gypsy remain on good terms, although they seem to be a rather volatile couple. So could this prevent new drama? Potentially. Number three, rights of the biological father. If the biological father may seek to establish paternity and gain potential rights. This also requires legal action, and the court will consider the best interest of the child. Number four, child support and custody. Paternity determinations will impact child support and custody arrangements. If the biological father, once paternity is established, can be held responsible for child. Why do I keep putting if where it doesn't belong? May seek custody or visitation rights. So emotional, personal, whatever. Okay, so yeah, I would like more detail. What happens if the husband wants to assume paternity against the mother? And because listen, I'm sorry, but I think Ryan's crazy. So I gotta ask questions, you know, getting into the mind space of a crazy person. So what happens if the husband, aka Ryan, wants to assume paternity against the mother and biological father's wishes? Okay. If the husband wants to assume paternity against the wishes of the mother and the biological father, the situation becomes more complex and would need to be resolved through the legal system. Here's an outline of how such a case might proceed in Louisiana. Okay, number one, presumption of paternity. Initially, Louisiana law presumes the husband is the father if the child is born during the marriage or within 300 days after the marriage ends, which obviously is the case here. Challenging the presumption, the mother and or biological father would need to challenge this presumption to have the biological father recognized legally. This typically involves filing a paternity suit in family court and providing evidence such as DNA tests. Number three, husband's rights and actions. The husband may argue for his rights to be recognized as the father. He could file a legal action to affirm his paternity, seeking custody or visitation rights. He would need to present his case in court. Number four, best interest of the child. The court's primary concern is the child's best interest. Factors include the emotional ties between the child and each man's ability to care for the child, and the child's need for stability. Number five, court's decision. The court will consider evidence from all parties. This includes DNA tests, testimony about the relationships involved, and the ability of each man to provide for the child. The court may also consider the child is unborn, so the child's not going to have wishes for years, depending on their age and maturity. Number six, potential outcomes. So there are three potential outcomes. Number one, Ryan is declared father. If the court finds it in the child's best interest, Ryan may be declared the legal father with corresponding rights and responsibilities. Potential outcome number two, Ken is declared the father. You are the father. If the court decides that Ken's recognition serves the child's best interest, he will be declared the legal father. And lastly, joint arrangements. In some cases, and I think this is like if you find out about the paternity much later on, the court may establish joint arrangements where both men have some rights and responsibilities, though this is less common. So legal representation and advice for the husband, aka Ryan. The husband should hire a family law attorney to represent his interests and argue his case effectively in court. For the mother, Gypsy, and the biological father, Ken, they should also seek legal counsel to ensure their rights and the best interests of the child are represented. So much going on, you guys. I really cannot. This is crazy. Gypsy, you really did it now. This is way too quick. You're moving way, way, way too quickly. And, with how slighted and jealous Ryan is, he could make you and Ken's life miserable. He could help, he's going to be draining his own pockets, but I think he will want to spite you so badly that he will be happy to drain his own pockets just to pull you guys through the ringer here when it comes to this child custody situation. And listen, I don't know that I hate that for you. I just want to see it play out on your show. All right. So, let me know what you think is going to go down with all of this, you guys, in the comment section down below. And per usual, we will chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe for more Gypsy Rose videos and recaps. Bye now.